guys? I'm Tyler with the Ink Collective. We're here to meet Mike Armstrong, owner of Lions Den Tattoo Studio and Good Company Golf. Come on. So first, if you want, just introduce yourself, tell us where we are, and a little bit about you.
Yeah, right on. My name is Mike Armstrong. We're at Good Company here. We're sitting in Good Company, but it's also my tattoo shop, Lions Den, on the other side of the wall here. So we're in a golf simulator lounge, I call it. We have my tattoo studio that's been going, celebrated 11 years in San Diego.
Yeah, very cool. I love being in Old Town. It's been a long time since I've been in Old Town. So being able to have two shops in the heart of Old Town, what does that mean to you?
Started looking for new spaces and this Old Town spot came up. I realized I hadn't been here and it's been a few years, since you get food and you go out for drinks or whatever. When I came back by, I kind of reintroduced myself to this neighborhood again and started to learn about Mission Hills, how beautiful that neighborhood is. We're right by Presidio Park, so it's great. Super, super central San Diego. I mean, we're right at where the 5 and the 8 come together.
Yeah.
Central,
Yeah. Crossed with the melting pot of culture that we have right here in the heart of San Diego.
I mean, we can see the beach is just over the highway. You see the SeaWorld fireworks go off every weekend, We're definitely right in the middle of it. Right by the beach, right by the airport, right by downtown, accessible to everywhere,
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So, Mike, take us back. What was your very first introduction to tattooing, and how did that spark eventually to grow into the Lions Den Tattoo Studio?
That's wild. I mean, I got this sleeve. I still get comments today like, "Oh, I love your sleeve," and of course, it's like my first thing I got. Early 2000s and I hate it, but it is what it is. The guy that did this for me back home in Michigan, super good dude at his college campus, tattoo shop. He's still there today, Liquid Swords in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and the guy was cool. He's like this gnarly ass tattoo shop, metal playing, I'd request like Deftones and he'd be like, "Nah man, that's too weak for me," It was cool. The piercer dude was crazy, had horns, It was my experience to it. I was 18, 19 years old, I was getting a sleeve. I was probably the only guy in my circle that had a sleeve,
Yeah.
I can remember it probably took me a year and a half to get it, so probably finished around 2021, and yeah, I got that, and I was sort of hooked on it, but you don't rush and get more when you're that young. It's expensive, man. Expensive now when you're 21 in college, getting a sleeve.
Have no money.
Expensive, yeah. We just chipped away at it, and I get young people today that call or walk in, "How much for a sleeve?" And I'm like, "Man, you have no idea. We're talking 20 to 50 hours worth of work,
Right.
Yeah, it was, that was my introduction to it. Took a few years, did a lot of creative business. I worked in the corporate world. I started a few little small businesses. As I eventually moved to California, I opened a bar. It wasn't quite working out. I decided I was going to move on from it and sell it. And I started to retrace my steps. Like, what do I want to do? Why did I move out here? And I had this notebook that I still have today with me that I used to write down ideas of something I wanted to do one day. It said, open a tattoo shop and art studio, work with creatives and have a creative space for people to work in. And kind of like it sparked something. I've always wanted to do this, And so the search was on and it landed me in San Diego eventually, Pretty wild trip.
When did golf enter your life, and what made you passionate enough to build Good Company Golf Club?
Man, so I grew up in Michigan. Golf's huge in Michigan. We play as a kid a little bit. I never played in high school, but we played buddies. We'd go out and hack it up. And, once I moved to downtown Detroit, I kind of didn't golf near as much. When I moved to California, my car got stolen like the second week I lived here. Golf clubs were in the back. So I gave up on golf unknowingly. I didn't have any buddies. When I lived in Huntington, the golf, so I was on the beach every day, going out. Golf was gone. I moved down to San Diego, opened the tattoo shop. Golf's still not a part of my life. COVID happened, and it exploded again. Some of the guys I work with, Jordan and his circle of friends, all golfed. When he told me he was going to pick it, I'm like, "You don't want to golf. There's no way." And I I couldn't picture him golfing. Anyways, that dude's hooked. I'm a part of their kind of circle friend. We're all hooked. We golf nonstop now. So I guess COVID was the introduction back into it, and it kind of, Southern California, you can golf year round. So it became this idea of like, man, we're golfing all the time. I have this tattoo shop. I've been doing it at that point 8-9 years. And I was looking, I wanted to create something new, something interesting, kind of put my energy into like a new business. And this idea came of like a golf club, but I always want to have a physical space. I want to have a location, like a brick and mortar.
Sure.
It's easy to sort of start something online. Man, to have a physical space, like to me, I like the branding of it. I like the way it looks. I want to create like a real physical space that people can enjoy. So yeah, Good Company came up. The name kind of popped in my head one day. I asked a few buddies to be a part of it with me. They were into the idea. They helped me out here and there, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, and it's pretty cool. We host a lot of events, do a lot of cool things. We have really cool memberships, so I'm really proud of Good Company. I think we have a cool space here, the lounge, I call it. Yeah. It's not a bar. It's not I don't know what, it's just a club. It's just a hangout spot. It's like a social club. It's like a clubhouse for guys and girls.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
100%.
It's funny because from the outside, tattoo culture and golf culture kind of seem like they're completely opposite or worlds apart. So how did you personally find a connection between the both of them?
Yeah, it's interesting. I get a lot of looks because I get to go to certain events now because of this, and I've been on a few private clubs, and I don't want to say you get looks like, what are you doing here? But I get the looks like I'm the one that's sleeved out and no one really else is. There are people in this world that are tattooed and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring a little bit of flavor. I don't think ours looks like any other golf simulator lounge. I find them to be kind of cookie cutter, white, walls, green, concept. This one's black. This one's black and orange. This one looks a little different when you walk in, and that was on purpose, of course. That's me bringing the kind of art culture into this space,
Yeah.
With our polos we made, they're pretty graphic. That's not new in this space, but I think all of our stuff has a fun little different take to it, and that's from my background in art.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. So both Lion's Den and Good Company have very strong names. Where did the inspiration for each come from?
Yeah, I think the Good Company was just bringing people together, the handshake logo, just the name clicked, and I brought it up to so many friends. Loved it. Jumped right in, and then the orange, I don't know, it was just something fresh. I wanted to bring something fresh to the table with the Good Company. It stands out a little bit. I think it looks a little different. There's not golf in the name per se, everybody wants to drop golf in it. Maybe that's a good or a bad thing. They both kind of just fell into it. It's just a brainstorming thing. You kind of know when you write it down, you look at it, and then it's a hit,
Yeah.
Pretty happy with both, obviously.
I think in a world full of copies, being something original nowadays is few and far in between. I think what you've been able to do here is really cool and is an example of that.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what lessons from running a tattoo shop have helped you in running a golf brand and vice versa?
Man, I think it's taking care of people is the biggest thing. Regardless, I tell people all the time, what I do is service-based, like even in the tattoo side. I own the shop. I've owned it a long time now. I don't tattoo. Some people are shocked to find that out. I tell people I'm just there to create a cool environment for people, a great environment for the people that work here, and then take care of people. I'm still here 5 days a week, in the 11th year of owning Lion's Den, and it's really just a service-based thing. I'm anticipating people's needs. I'm trying to create a cool spot for them. Try to offer them a drink or a beer, I get to know people, and that means a lot to me after all these years. Same with this Good Company side, man. It's a hosting space. It's like it's an online group creating community, but I'm like I say in this brick and mortar, I'm hosting folks. I want them to have a good time. Looking around, making sure everybody's good, and it really returns tenfold. Like people have a good time, they're going to tell their friends about it, and that's all I want to do is create a bigger community. So really, in both of them, Lion's Den's a community. We get to tattoo people. There's a lot of great tattoo shops in this town of San Diego. A lot of great tattoo artists. I'm just trying to create something that people are proud to say like they come to and be a part of.
Oh, absolutely. So with that being said, how would you approach building a lifestyle brand, which both of these kind of are, instead of just a business?
Yeah, it's right. Just involvement. Like I'm out, I'm hanging out, we're hanging out, I'm creating events for us to get together, get to know each other. Yeah, I think if it's a little more personal, than if I just created this and dropped in and collect a check, or hey, how are our numbers with memberships? I could care less. Our pricing model is low, so I build a stronger membership. meaning more people. I just want people to join on. I could make more money per membership or be more comparable to the other sim lounges around. I'm just trying to build a community. And at the end, I guess that takes care of itself. I never look at this like this. I never look at good company like that. It's more just build a larger community and things will work out for itself. You know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Taking care of people and being
Exactly.
personable, especially as the owner of both,
Yeah.
is a great way to build a community.
Yeah.
And have them give it back to you tenfold, like you said earlier.
Exactly. I just want people to be proud of it. You know, when you join Good Company, you get this bag tag, and for the first 100 members, it said founding member. I didn't have to give that away. I could have had it for sale for somebody to buy, but I gave it to everybody that joined. You got this big old box for joining on, and people go, what? Like, no way. And there's a hat and a towel and a bag tag, and that's all sort of included with the membership versus, hey, I've got this for sale or at a discount if you want to buy additional. I was trying to, create something. I still get photos of those bag tags around, or I go out and see. Obviously, I know everyone that's joined, but I see guys that maybe aren't members anymore, and we play golf, now, and I see the bag tag on. I'm like, dude, it's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling.
So do you think being personable and being so community-based and forward like that has been the key part of your success with pull shops?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know, I say this all the time, like, I love running this style of business. You'd be hard-pressed to get me to maybe show up to this, so I'm thankful for all the guys that do. I love to host and entertain. Maybe I'm not the most outgoing person on a personal level. I know I'm not perfect when it comes to that. But when you do walk through those doors, it's not an act. Like, I'm genuinely stoked for someone to check this out, for me to show them around. When there's a few members here and somebody kind of wanders in, I want to introduce them to like our guys that are regulars, and that's become something I've noticed about myself over the last year and a half of doing Good Company. Lions don't always be that way, I'm stoked every time somebody walks through, but this, I'm like, dude, come on in, like, welcome, let me show you around, let me show you what we're up to, and it's been fun, man.
So with all this being said, just tie into your personal and overall vision. What does success look like for you beyond just the money?
Man, yeah, I think just people's reaction, I mean, Bill's got to get paid. There's no doubt about it when it comes to running businesses, especially in Southern California. We were chatting earlier before we got started, and I realized I was jumping into like what's wrong with the tattoo industry. Man, I'm so thankful for everything that tattooing and now this world has provided for me. It's given me everything I wanted, which is like a secure lifestyle, I guess. Outside of that, it's like the people I work with, man. We enjoy each other. We just did our 11-year anniversary a week ago. We go out to the pool, we get a cabana, and we have a blast. Like, it's so much fun. No one's there to check in and then head out. We all hang out for the day. We grab dinner together. So like, it providing for me, covering the bills, that's great. It's about the relationships with my staff. It's relationships with our sort of community on this side. Those are the things that make you stoked to go in every day. Work sometimes, but I remind myself I work in tattoos and golf, man.
Yeah.
It can't get any better than that,
Yeah.
I'm blessed to live in San Diego, have everything I need, and work in golf and tattoos.
Yeah.
And I remind myself, like anybody I think who works hard and gets down sometimes, I created it for myself too, It's kind of like that look in the mirror, like, you did it sort of thing, but like, it's also like a reminder to keep working and keep growing, both of them, I said work never ends when you own your own business.
You need some time for yourself, right? You need to recharge, especially running multiple operations.
Yeah.
What does your life look like outside of this?
Yeah.
And how do you
Golf,
just
baby.
golfing?
Yeah, no, golf, man. I mean, it's got to be golf. Taking care of myself, it's become a focus now. My health, you kind of let those things go, especially opening this. We moved into this big ass building, it's 5,000 square feet. That was a big jump for me from a 1,100 square foot building.
Yeah.
Here, a lot of work, a lot of headaches, a lot of license, and just different things you got to do with the city. A huge financial, undertaking. It was a commitment to myself. It's like, do I be selfish, keep the money, invest in maybe my home or something personal, or do I put my neck on the line a little bit again to try and grow what I do? And I get excited about that. I spent a lot of time at home, don't do it, don't do it, do it. And then I decided I'm going to go for it, and now I'm already thinking about something else, getting into barbershop world,
Yeah.
I just love creating brands that people enjoy. Someone looks at and goes, that's pretty cool. Like, what is this? Let me check this out. Yeah, but outside of work, it's golf, man. Golf is the escape. It's the classic, I'm going to go golf 18 and have the best day, and then you're out there cussing and swearing because you're playing terrible.
Yeah.
But we have more better days than bad on the golf course, and I get a lot of great opportunities to play in some cool events, meet some really great people, and now we're getting ready to throw a massive event. I asked someone to partner up with me throwing a 2-day event in the desert.
Oh yeah, the winner gets $10,000, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I had this concept of throwing a golf outing, and I wanted to have it be more than just a show up, have your breakfast burrito, play, and head out after. I wanted to create an event that was more of a 2-day event, inviting brands to compete in it. I just didn't want to ask people, hey, for a free this, free that to give away to the participants. I wanted the brands to play and compete a little bit and network, I wanted 2.5 days of intermingling of small brands, mid-sized brands, creators, passionate golfers, and leave away with some really good relationships and friends. But then I invited my buddy Tom from Darts Only to sort of, if he was interested in partnering in this. He loved the concept. Now it's like official. He's a killer, runs 1 million events a year. We got $10,000 on the line. How the competition levels up, we're gonna have a blast, man. We're getting ready for early December. It's a lot of work, a lot of stress right now. I don't even know why I'm stressed, because everybody likes the idea, but you gotta sell and try to convince people in August and September to buy something for December. It's a lot of work, and but again, I remind myself, it's gonna be a blast. We're gonna sell it through. Let's have some fun. But yeah, looking forward to that. Our guy Pat, who you just met, he's part of it. Super stoked. He just signed on.
He just finished his putting his team together for it, which is cool.
And he put together some killers. Yeah, those guys are some heavy hitters, and they're going to be competing for sure. I don't know that my squads will be competing for 10K, but you never know. We'll see. Hey, you never know. I know some killers too. Just got to get them all together.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
So would this be like the first big event for Good Company Golf?
Yeah. And that's why I needed a partner on it. It's probably a little bit above, what I can pull off. So having Tom on board was really what I needed to get this to pull through. And yeah, the course is locked in. Sponsorships are coming in and signups coming in. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Coachella Valley Shootout is what we came up with.
Okay.
Very Western themed. It's a lot of
That's
fun.
cool.
I've had fun. I'm like the branding side of it. And Tom's like the back end and execution side of it.
So a golf course in the desert, but not Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, but Rancho Mirage, a little south in the valley, Coachella Valley. Yeah. I always thought Palm Springs is Palm Springs. Yeah. I mean, it's the whole valley.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so I decided to call it Coachella Valley Shootout.
I think that
allows us to bounce around maybe over the years if we make this an annual thing. Man, that is top golf. Out in the desert, out there in the Palm Springs, Coachella Valley, it's incredible golf.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could turn it into a staple, an annual staple event. You know what I mean? Like bikes and cars, whatever kind of deal. Where you go out once a year, maybe even do a music festival. Like
if we prove concept this year with this idea of like a true networking event. I think next year, we're looking at music and kind of know some people in the music world around San Diego. And if we can really sell this thing through soon, maybe that's part of this year. But yeah, as we start to make it bigger and bigger, I really want to make it a weekend getaway in December when it's beautiful out there and 75 degrees. I hope it becomes kind of a legacy thing, honestly. That's a goal, to have something like that to look forward to for years and years. Yeah.
So speaking of legacy, what legacy do you hope to leave behind with both Lion's Den and Good Company, or just your name in general?
These are things that can continue on when I'm done with it, and it means something that I started it. But yeah, I've never really considered that. I'm very excited for, I think Lion's Den will be in San Diego as long as I want it to be, or if I give it to somebody one day. As it's created something, there's some recognition with the name, and we've won a few awards, but that comes and goes. There's a lot of great shops here. There's fantastic shops. I always say, I just hope someone considers us somewhere around the top shops. Yeah, I think these things can continue on after I'm done. That would be the coolest part, I'm just trying to create a lifestyle for myself and those involved where we have freedom to our day-to-day. We can do something we enjoy. There's freedom to our life. We don't have to punch in and punch out. And that's what's most important to me. I always thought a few years ago, I'm going to be done at 50. Well, I'm turning 45 in a few months. I think I'll go more than 5 more years, I'm sure. But I hope not too much more. And who knows where it takes you. I don't know. I'll probably start a barber shop, and who knows by then. So I'll still be grinding. Yeah, no, I enjoy work, and I enjoy kind of the punishment of.
Well, it's not just necessarily working, right? It's building things from the ground up and creating a space that you're like, fuck, people really like this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm drawn to that. I'm attracted to that. I always will be. As I'm older, I'll still be doing something creative. So for sure.
Yeah, I know. I've done plenty of things. People have called me crazy for even trying. When I turned 18, my first job was at Express Tire in Santee.
Really?
And I was changing oil. I was working 75 hours a week. I thought I was like shit. I was making a ton of money. And I was $13 an hour. And then I realized like man, there's got to be something more. So I launched an e-commerce business. Cool. It was called Homestyle Essentials. So we sold farmhouse decor and stuff like that, and just built a brand around that. Yeah. And then that flopped, so we got into something else.
That's right, man.
Get a little bit older. I opened an HVAC company, and I had no idea how to do HVAC. So good news is I knew people how to do it.
That's right.
Our first month we did 20 grand. So like stuff like that is just building and building from anything from scratch. That is the I am. Like that's an extension of myself, you know, like 100%. I have to be building and curating something so that I can escape the rat race that everybody else is in, so I don't have to punch in every day.
I mean,
I can't. It's not in my blood.
Exact same. I could never go back. You know, when I started Lions Den, I had to work other small jobs and part-time, and then even had a full-time job having the tattoo shop to make it, to get over that hump. It took 2.5 years, and man, talk about tough going back, but it was like biting the bullet to understand like that paycheck is just going straight into paying the bills at the tattoo shop to get me over. And it finally happened right before 3 years. So people that are starting something, everybody needs to know it takes time to get it going.
Consistency is huge.
It is, and that's it. I'm a consistent. I'll never miss a day. I haven't missed a day. You know, I take days off, but I'm never late. I'm never miss a day, and it's like consistency is a super important factor to making it in business for sure. If you own a restaurant, you don't have to be the best chef in the world, but if you're consistent, you know, and you start to create something. Tattooing, you know, you don't have to be some world famous tattooer to make it. You got to be a good, consistent, put your head down, work hard, and you'll make it. Especially not more than ever, because everybody's kind of like there's a lot of rock star in this world now. You know,
make sure social media has taken a big toll in that, and I feel like a lot of people become more influencers than tattooers. Sure. So all the videos I see, it's less about tattoos and more about the shop and you know, what's behind the scenes of it. It's wild, it's weird.
There's the classic memes out there, like person dancing like as a tattooer. Like I didn't know I had to be a choreography dances on the internet too to make it. You know, whatever. You put your head down, you grind, you can be a good tattooer and make an honest living in this world for sure. One good thing about this business, Goodco and Lions Den, is if you work hard, the world is yours if you want, you know. It just depends how hard you want to work at it. So
So going back to legacy, where you mentioned, you know, maybe passing Lions Den down to somebody, or you know, keeping it as a staple in San Diego. What do you think about opening another shop or franchising eventually, so it becomes the tattoo shops in San Diego?
I mentioned to you a little bit earlier, I had a second shop pre-COVID, and it's a lot of work, man. Anyone that's considering doing a second location, you know, I decided to open Good Company. What I learned from having the second location, I had a shop in PV for a little over a year. Pre-COVID was, it's a lot of work to have 2 locations. So when I decided to do Good Company, it was all about finding the right building to have both in one location. I could not imagine 2 phone numbers, 2 emails, 2 everything, bills, 2 different addresses, whatever it is. Use your imagination, it's a lot of work. And so finding this building where I could have both under one roof and kind of manage from one front desk and have, you know, a little bit of help that manages both for me. Yeah, that was the key. So franchising, second locations, that's gone. That's in my rearview mirror, man. This is it for me, you know. If I do the barbershop, it might be right where I'm sitting right now. 2 chairs right here, kind of a speakeasy inside of a golf club, you know, private golf club. That's kind of the goal. Putting it outside of here, I'm like, nah, man. Every time I see a cool space in a little town or like a city around San Diego, I'm like, ooh, this could be a cool little coffee barbershop. I think, no, dude, don't even look online at how much rent is. If you're gonna do it, it's gonna be right here. So no, those days are in my rearview mirror, man. That's passed me up.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like a lot of people overthink what it takes to, you know, get into a business. They think they have to know everything when it comes to starting businesses. Did you know everything about each industry before you got into it, or is it a learn as you go?
It's definitely learn as you go. Tattooing, man, I didn't know a single person in San Diego. It was a real unique situation how that all worked out, but I was fortunate to work with 3 guys from day one that were selling their shop, and one guy was going to move to the East Coast, and they all needed a spot. So when I opened the doors, you know, I had built that relationship with them the 2 months leading up to our grand open, and I had 3 guys that were established here, and that couldn't have worked out better for me. Even though it was a struggle and a grind, and those guys were sort of, you know, just getting started and on their careers as well, We did like good, honest work, and it worked out really well for me. The golf side, you know, I'm in the golf community. Golf is a big influencer world now, man. It's like sometimes I look online. I've met a lot of great people that are killing in that world. I don't have a lot of I don't know. I just don't look at it like I don't want to be a golf influencer. Right. I want to be involved in the space, and I have a cool spot. Do I want to create trendy videos and with all this stuff? No, I don't want to do any of that. I want you to come by my spot, and I want to show you a good time here and work on your game, you know. But both worlds are gotten so much into the influencer space. It's crazy, and I just always focus on. I've got 4 walls, you know. I take care of the people that work here, take care of myself, and then I take care of the people that show up and visit us, you know. And that's been my focus. Did I know everything? No. Do you learn on the fly, man? That's what you got to do. You got to have the guts to kind of put yourself out there. Yeah. Like with what you're doing now. You got to put yourself out there. You got to make yourself available. You got to meet people and just step by step stack wins, you know. That's all you can do.
Yeah, it's funny before I even started this, you know, being in front of a camera, talking and networking, that was never my shtick. Yeah. Always, you know, I'm always doing my own thing, keeping it myself, conversations to a minimum, you know what I mean? Yeah. So being kind of the face of a brand and, you know, doing interviews like these are so out of my realm, but I think it's good to constantly challenge yourself. Sure. This is how you get better. This is how you meet amazing people like yourself. And hopefully turn into, you know, leave a legacy.
Blow it up, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. Same thing. So it's nice to connect with somebody the same path, you know. Yeah. Dig that. Right on. Well, it's been a pleasure doing this, guys. And, you know, if you're ever in San Diego, Lion's Den Tattoo, we're here in Old Town. I've got Good Company Golf Club. If you're a golfer visiting, you want to check it out, you can find us on social media for both. Instagram's where we spend way too much time, but I'm on there. But yeah, that's it. Tyler, thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out today. Super cool. Stoked on what you're doing. I love the magazine, and I can't wait to see it, man. So let's go.